Greetings, chess players. My name is Chris Torres. It is Thursday evening, and that means a daily Chess Musings channel will be taking challenges from students at Gomes Elementary School in Fremont, California. It's one of the schools that I volunteer with. It's one of the schools with so many talented young chess players. So much fun. I really enjoy this part of my weekly schedule. So, without further ado, let me move on over. Move on over. And I'm already getting a couple challenges in on chess.com. I hope I'm live. I hope I hope everything. It looks like I had to do a yeah, I am good. I had to do a restart of the computer because I was doing my chess lesson with the Gomes players. And then I moved over to the computer that I used to stream from, and everything was frozen. Again, it's a little flaw with the system. All right. Play a friend. Now, I want to play 10-minute games, not 30-minute games, so I've got to decline your challenge, Crosser Bishop. And I'm hoping for a 10-minute challenge because I want to play several of you. I've got about an hour before my next lesson. I may stream a game from that lesson too. I have yet to decide. 10-minute challenge. If you send me a 10-minute challenge, then I can accept it. 30-minute challenge, no. No can do, because that could end up lasting for too long. Like I said, I have an hour. So I could do maybe 3 10-minute challenges, right? Again, I get a 30-minute challenge and a 3-minute challenge. 10-minute challenge, ladies and gentlemen. There. Got a 10-minute challenge from Hoopkrat. Oh boy, and look, I'm playing at odds. I love playing at odds against my students. It's one of my favorite things to do. All right, so e4. I just have a knight and a bishop. This is big odds, but we'll see what I can do. All right, so I have 2 pieces. I get them both developed. I'll go ahead and use the fried liver attack. If you're just going to have a bishop and a knight, right? Actually, it's not such a great choice because am I really going to sacrifice a knight? No. So I'm you know. All right. In fact, I'm not even gonna. Well, let's see. Let's see if he actually or she takes queen takes bishop here. Would be the best move for black. Did not. So you have to, when you're playing chess, you have to think about the big picture. The big picture here is even trading a queen for a knight and a bishop when they're your opponent's last 2 pieces. That would be the correct thing to do. I'll go and throw in another annoying check. I don't like that the knight's threatening my bishop because I'm pretty much, I'm going to be forced to lose this bishop, more than likely. The black king should scoot over to e8, and then maybe I take the rook, but then my knight's stuck out in the corner. But I think I have to take the rook. And now if I'm black, I just take the bishop. Ooh, but no, they took here and tried to do a fork and check, and that's going to lose a knight. All right. So I've made a little bit of headway. Hayway. I almost said hayway. I don't even know what that means. I'm getting other challenges. You know why I'm getting other challenges? Because I did that simul the other day. And again, see, Coach Chris makes these mistakes fairly often. What I need to do is, after I'm done playing a simul, switch it back to 1 challenge at a time. Switch the game mode back to 1 challenge at a time. I would like to get my knight back in the game. Not very easy to do. I'm going to attack a queen, threaten a queen. Who knows? Maybe I get lucky. Nope, don't get lucky this time. I'm going to take a pawn. I'm trying to get this knight back into the game, so I think if I put my bishop here, then I am influencing f7, which maybe gives me a chance to get my second piece back in the game. It's asking a lot. They could check me here, but I still, it's not checkmate, right? We're still okay. Ooh, now this is a nice threat. Threatening check, forced over, and then checkmate, right? It's nice. I like it. Very good threat. All right, so given all of that, I mean, scooting this forward doesn't help because the knight would still be taking this square. So even if I scoot the pawn forward, then it's check. I have to move, and then still it's checkmate with the queen. So interesting. Let's see here. I could bring the bishop back to defend, but then the queen would come here and pin the bishop to my king. I don't like that. Don't like that one bit at all. I could play a check, then the king moves, but then what am I going to do, right? Then I have to still fix these problems, so I don't like that. Wonder what I should do here. I'm in a little bit of a bind. Doing this doesn't help. It's still checkmate. Doing this doesn't help. So given that none of that actually works, playing check is the best move I can do. Okay, none of that actually works. We will play check. All right, and now when I back the bishop out, I'm going to come out this way. And the idea is, if my opponent plays check, then I'll take with my bishop, then they'll take with their knight, and they'll take with my king, right? Right. Or they have to take the bishop with their knight, and then I can get my knight out of the corner. Yep, that's what I figured was going to happen. Now, their knight can come back here, and that's trouble. So before I get my knight out of the corner, I think I want to play g3 to stop their knight from going to f4. Otherwise, they get that same checkmate. My name is Chris Torres. I am a correspondence chess master and longtime California chess coach, California chess professional. And I am here tonight, hopefully, to give you some entertainment, infotainment, though. Hopefully you learn. All right, so I got the knight out. Move the knight back, threatening the queen, because knights do move backwards, right? Sometimes people don't miss, yep, backward threats. This is trouble. But if the check comes, I can still move up. So it's not going to be checkmate quite yet. This is Daily Chess Musings. You can find out more about me by going to dailychessmusings.com. I am a chess.com partner streamer. You can check out our Daily Chess Musings Club on chess.com. It's a lot of fun as well. All right, so the threat is checkmate, right? So we need to avoid being checkmated. So I think that's my move. Interesting little intermezzo here, right? My opponent clearly could have said check, I go here, and then gone there to threaten checkmate, right? Could have done that. But they're playing a little intermezzo here, an in-between move, to scare the knight away, so I guess I can't protect f3 to block the diagonal. Well, that's not very friendly at all. I'll come up in here, you know. Then maybe I get a check on this side too, right? I have one piece, I might as well create a threat with it. By the way, if you hear some sounds of water, it's not raining, you know, heavily right now. Um, all right, threatening checkmate, but I can take it. Um, that you know, I enjoy. I enjoy. I'm an aquarium hobbyist. Nothing fancy. Nothing too expensive. Very nicely done. All right, so my opponent has a mate and two here. I go here, and they should do that. Actually, it's a mate and three because I can block with the knight momentarily. Oh, they do not. All right, so my opponent could have finished me out there, did not. So maybe I get a second chance. Doesn't seem too likely, but I would like to go here, say check, and then take that bishop instead of the rook, because the bishop's what's threatening the immediate checkmate on me. Okay. Cool. So I can get rid of the bishop. So again, they could have taken. You know, they could have mated me. So I'm getting rid of what was threatening to checkmate me. But now all they got to do is move like the rook over and then down, and it's like a walking rook, you know, checkmate, back rank mate. Um, so they just need to activate this piece. Not let the king out and run around. That's not necessary. Okay, they're going to take my knight, apparently, which gets me maybe a little closer to a stalemate. I'm going to try for a crazy stalemate. If you're a fan of my channel, you know, you've maybe seen some of my streams in the past. When I was streaming straight to YouTube, I had I had a couple weeks in a row with beautiful stalemates. So I'm going to try and move in here. Move into a spot. And now there's potential stalemate. Let's see. There's a potential stalemate on the board. Let's see if anybody else spots it. There's also a checkmate. There's a stalemate and a checkmate. All right. That was neither. Okay. So let me go back a moment. Oops. I went back way too far. All right. I was supposed to go back one move. So right now my king has no squares, right? So if they waste any move that keeps, you know, the things static in the G and H files, then it's a stalemate. The checkmate was queen to E1. It was a checkmate, right? And then there is the move that was played, which is neither, but forces me to take this knight. Something I didn't want to do, actually, because I was playing for the stalemate. Stalemating's a little harder for me now. So what I'm going to do... Great. So now this pawn can't move. I need to get rid of my free moves if I'm going to get a stalemate. I know this. So I'm going to hang out over here around this pawn and around the king, because that takes squares for me, right? The king takes these three squares. Oops. The pawn takes, you know, squares, right? I go here. Possible stalemate again. Unfortunately, the pawn is not defended. I have to take. If this pawn were defended, this would already be a stalemate. This would be a stalemate. So if my opponent's queen was here, then this is a stalemate. But I have to take their pawn. What a bummer. I didn't want to do that. Because now there's nothing blocking this pawn other than my king for a moment, which means my chance of getting a stalemate is much less. Much less indeed. Oh, I moved my window over so I can see my chat. So if you want to say hi, go ahead and say hi. I just adjusted my screen. I hope I didn't miss any chats already. I'm going to go ahead and pin my pawn to my king, trying to get the stalemate. My name is Chris Torres. This is Daily Chess Musings. I go by Coach Tortoise on chess.com because it's a play on my name, plus my style of chess is very slow. I enjoy correspondence chess, a very, very slow-paced game. So, I mean, it just makes good sense. All right, so it looks like I'm going to get checkmated here, of course. But let's see the technique. I try and teach these young people good technique in these kinds of situations. And right now, maybe not using the best technique because not checking. If you want to avoid stalemate, you need to advance with checks. Push the king back with checks. Okay, no stalemate, so good job. And now there's a check, good. And there's still, a lot of stalemate possibilities. Excellent job. I tried. I tried for the stalemate. You didn't let me get it. Good job. All right, who's next? Who wants to play me now? And no, I don't have time for a 30-minute. I'll do 10-minute. That gives me time to narrate, time to talk through my thought process, as well as fast enough that we can fit it into a good session. So I've got 6 viewers. I suspect some of you are from Gomes Elementary School in Fremont, California. Go ahead and send me a 5-minute challenge, please. I'm sorry, 10-minute challenge. See, I misspoke. Lily, can you get me more coffee, please? Seeing if my daughter can grab me some more coffee. And waiting for the next 10-minute challenge. Who wants to play me a game? Send me a 10-minute challenge. I see a lot of you online, but you're not sending me the... That's a... All right, so I'm going to try cross or bishop. I'm going to try and send you one because you keep sending me a 30-minute challenge. And I don't have time for the 30-minute. Let me try sending you one, cross or bishop, okay? So cross or bishop. And then we will go 10 minutes, all right? And now I send you the challenge, okay? So go ahead and accept if you're watching cross or bishop because I sent you the 10-minute, a rapid game rather than a standard 30-minute because we're a little short on time. I am open for 10-minute challenges right now. Cross or bishop. You should have heard a bloop. If you've got your sound turned on, you should have a notification on the pawn on chess.com, and you should see a challenge on the bottom right of your screen where you can click the check mark to play me. Cross or bishop. Waiting for cross or bishop to accept the challenge. My name is Chris Torres. This is Daily Chess Musing. It's Thursday evening with the wonderful and talented young players from Gomes Elementary School in Fremont, California. Fremont, California, Coach Chris's hometown. Actually, Lily, I'll go with bubble water, okay, sweetheart. Non-caffeinated, just regular bubble water.
If you could hear this, you left the projector on.
Lily, you may turn the projector off, okay? All right, I'm canceling that challenge. And let me go back and look. Thank you, Lily. Bubble water. Let's see what flavor she got me. She got me Raz Cranberry sparkling water. This should be good. Raz Cranberry. Mm. It is good. All right. I'll try challenging someone else that I see online who is a friend. Because I'm not sure why Cross or Bishop. Sometimes my students don't see the challenge. Send me a 10-minute challenge, Crosser, if you're watching the broadcast. Dice Knights. I see you online. I know you're also at Gomes. Oh, here we go. Ruler of all rules. 10-minute challenge. Nice. I am accepting. Minus a queen. How fun. All right. What strategy should I use minus a queen? Crosser Bishop sends me a 30-minute challenge again. Poor Crosser Bishop. I'm going to develop a knight f3. I was thinking about using a gambit, but without the queen. Many of my... Yeah, obviously, everything's different without a queen. I think... all right, so yeah, I kind of got an Italian four knights thing going. Not the most aggressive choice for this kind of situation. So already, I need to not make so much squeaky noises. Sorry about that. It's my can of bubble water. Okay, I'm going to play bishop d2. Why would I do that? Because I'm thinking of castling queenside, right? Because if we castle on opposite sides, then maybe I can do something with a pawn storm, expose my opponent, use 2 rooks and a bishop, and do a checkmate. We shall see. All right, so this is already starting off not good because this is like a forced trade. I can't not trade. So I'm not even going to spend a tempo on this bishop, moving it, because it's going to be a trade. Playing a queen at odds games against ruler of all worlds. Well, my rook is in the same file as their queen, right? Right. So maybe I don't want to put a pawn there. But I don't want this to like break through either. I'm going to go ahead and sack on h6. It does 2 things. It exposes my opponent's king and makes this even more threatening, right? Threaten here. Threaten here. I'm opening things up on the king. See what I'm doing? Opening things up. Aha! Very good move. Very good spotting. Threatening a nice knight fork. However, I think I'm going to have... let's see. Let's see. Shoot. This isn't quite going to work the way I want it to. All right. I'm going to move my knight. This keeps this file open My rook and queen are in an open file. Now my knight is checking distance away. And that means, perhaps I can throw a knight check and win a queen at some point. Being tricky, it's all you can do when you're down, mega material. When you're up material and you have multiple paths to victory, what you need to do is take away your opponent's counter chances. Oftentimes that means trading down, simplification. When you're down material and your opponent has multiple paths to victory, you need to complicate things. Complicate. And I am working on those complications. Let's get another knight up in the face. Should I do that right now? Should I? I'm also tempted now that the bishop's blocking. I'm tempted. I'm going to put a rook in the same file as my opponent's king. I'm going to go for the big win that way. Even trading a rook for a queen is not going to win me the game, but checkmating will. I'm going to have to try and figure out some kind of checkmate with 2 rooks and 2 knights. Okay. We're getting closer to figuring this out. This knight is pinned, so that means I can actually play knight takes e5. So what have I got? 2 dangerous rooks and 2 dangerous knights. I have 4 pieces trying to do this checkmate. And it is a must checkmate situation. A must checkmate kind of situation. I see I have 5 viewers. Go ahead, say hi in the chat. I'm always happy. Okay. All right, so now this knight is no longer pinned. This is true. But when I play f4, I block the check from the bishop. I support my knight, and I'm creating the potential for rook takes g5 check, plus maybe some other things, right? Maybe there's a couple other things. But it blocks the check, supports the knight, and creates the other threat. I'm already threatening the piece that is indirectly pinned to the king, the piece behind the knight. Always so much fun. Playing chess with the students at Gomes Elementary School in Fremont, California. So much great chess has happened in Fremont over the years. Okay. That is one possibility, but then let's see. Let's not mess this up, Chris. Let's see. I think knight takes is my best. Means this is pinned still and threatened twice. I have a knight threatening it and the rook that's pinning it. You can imagine some scenarios where we might get a checkmate out of this, because, ooh, and we just got more targets. Checks, captures, threats. All right, so this is pinning the knight to my king, right? The queen is pinning the knight, so I know I can't move this knight. It is threatening my knight, But my rooks are awful good. I mean, there's just a couple things between my rooks and checkmate. This bishop is sitting for free. I mean, I could do many different things. The first that come to mind would be well, the knight, yeah, all right. So if I play knight takes d7, if I play knight takes d7 and my opponent plays queen takes f4 check, I'm going to have to move my king out of check for the moment, right? And then my opponent has a free move then to do something. I think knight takes d7 is my best move. I think it is. After queen takes f4 check, I am forced to play king b1. They did not play queen takes f4 check. That is fascinating. Do I have a way? I do. Watch this. Ladies and gentlemen, watch this. Beautiful stuff. If I play rook takes g4, then queen takes, and then knight f6 is a check and a fork. And I am right back in this. Beautiful stuff. Watch this. Rook takes. Queen takes. Knight says check. Beautiful knight fork. Beautiful stuff. All right, and then of course knight takes queen, and now I have, I'm actually up in material. I started down a queen. I'm actually up. That was a beautiful turn of events. A couple moves ago, black totally should have played right here. If we go back just a couple moves, right after I played knight takes d7, black should have played queen takes f4. They left their queen in the same file as their king, and I was able to use the rook taking the knight, which pins the queen to the king, right? So the only option then really is queen takes rook, which happened in this case to set up the nice fork. All right. So now this rook is threatening e4, c4, and indirectly all the stuff on the fourth rank. I mean, you know, the rook on the fourth rank is a very powerful spot for that rook right now. Let's see. We would hate to make a mistake. We have to be careful, but I'm getting down on time too. All right, I'm gonna move my rook over one square into the file with my opponent's king to set up, if they take e4, if rook takes e4, then I've got knight f2 check, and then I'll win the rook. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. If they take c4, I've got knight e5 check, and I'll win their rook. Wow. And of course, they may be one of my 6 viewers, so they did not take either. Wise decision. Now let's see. I'm going to go and threaten something else. Do you see what I'm threatening with this move? What am I threatening? Anybody see? Rook up and then taking there, skewering the king. It's a skewer. A skewer is the word we use when we attack a piece and the lesser valuable piece is behind it on that line. Okay, so for the moment, the rook is defended, right? For the moment. Let's see. But I'm gonna, am I? Yeah, I think I am. I'm gonna put my knight in between, disconnecting the two rooks for the moment. My name is Chris Torres. I am a chess coach at Gomes Elementary School in Fremont, California. This is Daily Chess Musings. I'm playing a game of chess with some of those talented students at Gomes Elementary School. All right, and now I get my skewer. In fact, I get more than my skewer. This is checkmate. That was an interesting game. It changed. The trajectory of that game changed very quickly. Let's look at the game review. Watch this. See, these are some of the cool tools we have on chess.com. Let me make sure that this is showing up. Yeah, it is good because it is like an extra window, right? Just wanted to make sure it's showing up on the broadcast. Start review. Boom, 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 boom. See these great tools. You can analyze things, and right here, that's the move. The rook takes g4, right? And right here, that's the mistake. What should black have played? Well, watch. I'll show you. Click this best thing, and queen takes f4 check. And then I can even show you the line. So it's good to know that the computer is agreeing with my analysis. But it was, it was a key move. I had two powerful rooks, two powerful knights, one big mistake, and one rook takes g4. Double exclaim I get from chess.com. Makes me feel like a professional when I get to do stuff like that. All right, so who is next? I'm going to go ahead and click out of my analysis screen. And let me make sure that the right board is back up. Yeah, it is. Good. And who is next? Who's going to play me next? Let's see. Crosser Bishop. I'm good for a 10-minute game, my friend. I would like to play you a 10-minute game. How about I send you a challenge for a 10-minute game, okay? Play a friend. And Crosser Bishop, are you still online? Yeah, you are. All right. And I'll tell you what, I'll even play you minus a rook, all right? 10-minute game, minus one rook. So balanced odds I go to. And instead of clicking auto balance, I'm going to scroll. Maybe you don't see this because I have the window sized, but I'm talking you through the options. You go through balanced odds and then minus rook on a1, and then 10 minutes. 10-minute challenge to Crosser Bishop. Here it comes, man. Let's play a game. So I'm 1-1 for the evening against the talented young chess players at Gomes Elementary School in Fremont, California. Go ahead and give, if you're watching this, I see I have a few people watching, 7 viewers right now. Give me a, what do you call it, a follow, right? I want my followers to go up on Twitch. I am new to Twitch. So if you can give me a follow, that would be stupendous. And also remember that I will be putting the same video. I'll be transferring it over to YouTube later this evening. So if you want to watch the whole thing over there, go for it and give us a nice subscribe over on YouTube as well. Crosser Bishop, I'm trying to play with you, man. I know you're on. Trying to be friendly and play. Let's see. I gave you a couple opportunities now. Let me see. Do I have any other challenges right now? Anybody? If I don't have any challenges from Gomes Elementary School, then anybody is welcome to play me then. Right now, send me a 10-minute challenge. My username is Coach Tortoise. I have time for one more game before the next lesson, and I think I'm gonna maybe play one game with my next student on this broadcast as well. Ruler of all rules, you want to try me again? All right. I'll play ya. This time I'm missing a knight, a bishop, and a knight. Okay. All right. We'll see what happens. Let's open things up right away. I feel like my screen just got brighter. Why does that happen every once in a while to me? I don't think it really did, but I think it did. I'm opening up the center with the idea of creating some early tactics. So I'm leaving this center tension. In fact, I'm gonna set up a whole bunch of possible. So my bishop's threatening the belly button right away. My rook, if I can get the f pawn out of the way, is threatening it as well. And now, now that this is taken here, I think I am. I could either play like queen f3. I think that's the route I'm going to go. I'm not going to push the pawn quite yet against the knight. I'm going to play queen f3 first. Because the black knight can't go to d4 to threaten my queen. Because they have their own pawn on the square, and you aren't allowed to take your own stuff in chess. Now see, this was a good move. Maybe I should have pushed. Maybe I should have pushed e5 right away. I'm going to take with the bishop. If they don't take back, I may just sack my bishop. If they do take back, then they're opening the e-file on their king, and I can bring the rook a1 to e1 check. Okay, so they're threatening the bishop again, so it is time. It is time to pull the king into the f-file. It doesn't want to be in the f-file with my rook and queen. It really doesn't. And now it's time to threaten the knight. Get that knight out of the way. And then if I can play f5 and then e6, I've got something going. And they're willing to give me this. Interesting. I take the knight. And now that the e-file is open, I think rook a to e1 check. And then, let's see. A lot of times I like to say don't get too crazy, but when you're down 9 points in material, it's time to get crazy. Crazy tactical. V-Doug, I see you sent me a challenge. You're next in line if I have time, all right, man? You are next in line. Yeah, it's time to get crazy tactical. All right, so I'm going to go g4. Again, this pawn is my best friend right now. I know that seems odd because it's my opponent's pawn in the center of the board, but it is blocking these kind of checks. And a moment ago, it stopped the knight from going there. The knight would have been so much better here than there, right? And again, we are going to get seriously tactical. Although, if I play queen takes b7 right now, it would be a mistake because bishop goes to d5 is nearly crushing. But then I can come back and take on g5 because this is pinned. Wow. Wowzers. All right. Got to pay attention to everything going on. All right. There it is. And now I get to do this. Wow. See, the bishop can't take me. It's pinned. It's pinned for the moment. And their pawn is still blocking any sort of nastiness on my king. Amazing. Oh, and I have something really cool. Some really cool potential moves here. First of all, the queen is glued to e7 to stop checkmate, right? We know that. Second of all, just wait and see here. All right, so I'm going to attack this bishop. I don't want an extra layer there. Oh! Oh no, I just dropped my own queen. That was sneaky. Good for you. Excellent job, ruler of all worlds. Let me show you what I was thinking about. Why did I get so excited and distracted here? Because I was thinking about rook takes bishop, queen blocks, and then rook e1, right? And then I go and drop my queen like that. Oops. Oh well. I get a queen back, but I'm going to be playing a rook versus two rooks and a bishop. That's not going to end well for me. That's not going to end well. So if you're a ruler of all worlds right now, you realize that trading the queen is okay. It's okay. They could have even just taken there. Now their queen isn't going anywhere, by the way. It's pinned. So I'm gonna attack this bishop and see what sort of nonsense I can stir up. I'm gonna leave this alone because nothing's changing there. If queen takes rook, it's the same as if rook takes queen, right? It's a 5-for-9 trade. But this bishop is guarding e1, which means as long as it's there, I got to be careful. I got to be careful here. If I play b4 and then bishop b6, I'm putting their bishop back onto the diagonal with my king. Then they can scoot the rook, right? So I got to be a little careful here. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Things are getting dangerous. All right, so now I've stacked my rooks into a battery. They've got a discovered check. Things are dangerous. The last game, I felt like a little bit of a magician with that last minute come. Oh, that's not the way you wanted to do it, because now I win a queen without the trade, right? It was supposed to be profiting 4 points, and instead I profit 9. So trading the queen for the rook, I know, it's ingrained, you don't want to do that trade, but when you're ahead by so much material, it is the proper thing to do. And now they aren't ahead by as much material as they used to be at all. I'll tell you what, though, I do not like this. So I'm going to move my king up 1 square right now. I have a moment of free time to do that. Get it off the diagonal of the bishop. All right. Now, I will take a pawn. I'm only down by 1 point in material now. Walking you through how to play at odds. Playing at odds with my students. Odds are fun. It's a fun way. All right, let's see what we know about endgames. If I play rook takes, and then I push pawn, it's very close. It's very close, especially with this pawn on b4. So I got to analyze my checks, captures, threats. Checks, captures, and threats. And let's see. If rook takes, pawn moves forward, then they're going to come down here and say check, more than likely. And then I attack their, and then, yeah, and then I think I can squeeze this in. I think I can get very close to squeezing this pawn in. Let's see. All right, so now should I play f6 right now? I'm going to go for it. This pawn on d4 is again hurting my opponent. I've left their center pawn there. My pawn on b4 also hurts them. See, the bishop can't get here or here, which are the two diagonals it would need to be on to stop this. It can't do it. All right, and then pass pawns need to be pushed. I scoot it forward one more square. All right, and now I scoot the rook forward. Now if rook takes rook, I get a queen. If anything else, I scoot the pawn forward and get a queen, right? Okay. And now we just need to use good technique here. No need giving them a passed pawn. I don't need to do that. Good technique means taking away your opponent's chances, whatever they might be. Here they're trying, maybe to advance another pawn. I'm going to go and take, and then put my queen here, forking. And then the only move then is king there. And then I believe I can even play queen takes bishop if I want to. Should I do it? Let's make sure it works. Getting their king so close to this might not be the right idea. So instead of doing that little bit of nonsense, I'm going to go ahead and play a fork. Fork the king and pawn. Queen takes bishop may have worked, but it does, I have the 2-on-1, but their king is so close to this pawn, then I would look really silly. So we take out here. My queen is on a dark square, king is on a light square, so I am safe from nonsense tactics. Move my queen here, which supports this pawn. That means as long as this pawn's on a light square and my queen's here, this pawn is not a passed pawn, but this pawn is. The H pawn is. Check it out. This this pawn is still on d4. Remember, my friendly enemy pawn is still on d4. How bizarre. Give us some follows if you're watching the show right now. I don't need to do anything. I just need to scoot this pawn forward. I don't need to bring my queen in closer. I don't need to do anything. This relationship is perfect. Keep it simple. Keeping it simple. See, their bishop can't get on this diagonal because this pawn's in the way. That pawn on d4. It's weird that their center pawn would be so problematic for them over and over again in this game. Very, very weird. But you never know with chess. I mean, it's just you, you know, it's there are more games of chess to be played than there are grains of sand on all the beaches in the world. So every time, I mean, we're always talking about maintain a center pawn, maintain a. This pawn has really, it was a center pawn, and it was maintained, but it only helped white. And my apologies to VDug. It looks like I will not have time to play the game with you. So my apologies about that. Um, VDug, I always enjoy our games. You are a talented, talented young chess player. Next week, all right? Normally the rule is, one game per night. I've played two versus Ruler of All Worlds, but the reason I did is because I didn't have a challenge otherwise. So it's better to let's see. Let's finish this out with good technique. Let's play a check. And let's see. Best is to go like this, forcing the bishop to block. And then we say check like this, forcing the king to back up. And then we say checkmate. So using good technique right up until the end. I try and practice what I preach here on chess.com. I got just a couple minutes, so I will go ahead and run the game review on this one too, and we'll finish the broadcast like that. Let's see. So see, the chess.com game review tool is just awesome. It just really is. All right. So here we go, real fast. And then in a moment, we're going to see the critical mistake. And that move, I get a rook x. There was only one good move, and you found it. This is the start of an endgame, and you are equal. Okay. So it says, it says it was one good move, and then let's scoot ahead. So right here is the problem. Rook d8. This misses a better move away from the attack, and we can go look at the best. Putting the rook right in front, and this is tricky. This is tricky. Let's go ahead and show the line. Advancing the pawns. Yep, getting rid of the passed pawn there. Boom, boom. And then let's see. Let me see if I can put on the analysis for this position here. And just to double check my calculations as well. It's saying black's best move is to move the bishop. I concur, because that is threatening h4. So yeah, threaten h4, and then white's going to defend it, but moving the king to a light square, so there's no trouble with that bishop. And then bishop can go to e7, threatening this pawn over here, right? And then black's got a draw here. Black's got a draw. This will end up, being a draw with best play. I mean, what am I going to do about this? I can scoot it forward a step, and then black has plenty of good options here. One thing maybe they don't want to do is step up here, because then rook takes says check, right? and that would be a disaster. That could be a disaster because then watch if you take the pawn like that, this is cool. Um, and then I can come right back here, defend this pawn, and this king's sitting way out here now. So rook h7. What do you think black would do here? They could try and get their king back in time. They need to get their king here, right, to be able to take that. But they aren't going to get there in time. They are not going to get there in time. And now I got this like super defended, right? It's fine, but I don't want to give black an opportunity to get their bishop to f6. So it's like, all right, you want to take that pawn? Go ahead, take that pawn. Because then we get a queen and we are good. White's going to win. So that, a little bit of tactical razzle dazzle there. So, right here, it's a draw, a technical draw, but not easy. Not easy for black to play properly because of this 2-on-1 situation. So yeah, black, going up to try and get that. This pawn is a trap. It's a trap. It's moving the king out of range. So the better way would be to move your king like this, and then there, where it doubles up on the most dangerous pawn. Because see, this pawn can be stopped by this pawn. It is not a pass pawn. So the better plan for black is to do that, and then they get a draw. But a lot of players I know would make a big mistake there. Possibly under the right circumstances, like low time, possibly even me. And so yeah, it's a good little end game lesson. All right, so we had a nice fun hour of chess after our lesson. If you are watching right now, please go ahead and give us a follow on Twitch. Go to Daily Chess Musings on YouTube and subscribe. You'll see this video posted there momentarily. Additionally, go to the Daily Chess Musings Club on chess.com and join. It's free. We have a lot of pop-up tournaments. We even have prizes and things. It's fun. It's free. Go for it. And go to dailychessmusings.com where you can see thousands of lessons and puzzles and all sorts of neat things. In the blog section on dailychessmusings.com. My name is Chris Torres. This is Daily Chess Musings. I will see you next time.